Hi everyone, it's Eleni. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to learn the Korean numbers. So for those who don't know, Korean has two sets of numbers. You have the Korean numbers and the Sino-Korean numbers. So the Sino-Korean numbers are based off of the Chinese language. So if you are learning Chinese as well, or if you know a little bit of Chinese, you'll see a little bit of similarity. But for those of you who are learning for the first time, this will all be new to you. So if you mess up, don't worry. Again, remember tips: stop, repeat, write it down, and you'll be on your way to learning all the numbers. Like I was saying, Korean has two number systems, the Korean number system and the Sino-Korean number system. The Korean number system and the Sino-Korean number system are almost never used at the same time. The only time you use both number systems, is when you tell time, and we'll go over that later. Let's start off with the Korean numbers. The Korean numbers only go up to 99. Once you hit 100, you will switch over to the Sino-Korean no matter what. You can always use Sino-Korean 1 through 99 as well, but if you're only using Korean numbers, you can only go up to 99. First, we're going to learn 1 through 10, and then we're going to go on to the tens, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. And then you will know how to say all the Korean numbers. Okay? So let's get started. 1 is 하나. 하나. 2 is 둘. 둘. 3 is 셋. 셋. 4 is 넷. 넷. 5 is 다섯. 다섯. 6 is 여섯. 여섯. 7, which is also the name of BTS's new album. Hey, go order your albums. All right. 7 is 일곱. 일곱. 8 is 여덟. 여덟. 9 is 아홉. 아홉. And then finally, 10 is 열. 열. So now that you've learned 1 through 10, you can move on to the tens. And then we're going to talk about 10 plus a number, okay? But first we're going to go through the tens. We said 10 is 열. 열. 20 is 스물. 스물. Next is 30. 30 is 서른. 서른. I am 30 in Korean age this year. I am 서른. And I'm also really sad, but 서른. 40 is 마흔. 마흔. 50 is 신. 신. 60 is 예순. 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 70 is 일흔. 일흔. 80 is 여든. 여든. 90 is 아흔. 아흔. So now that you know 1 through 10, and the tens, which are 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, you need to learn how to do the in-between numbers. So that means 11, 12, 13, 14, the 21s, 22, 23, 24, 31, 32, 33, and they're all the same. So once you learn it once, you just take whatever the 10 is and then put the 1 after. So I'll show you right now. 11 is 열하나. 열하나. So we learned 열 is 10, 하나 is 1. So 열하나. 12 is 열둘. 열둘. And you do the same thing all the way down. So 13 is 열셋. 열셋. Same thing, 14. 열넷. 열넷. 15, 열다섯. 열다섯. 16, 열여섯. 열여섯. Can you guess what 17 is? 17 is 열일곱. 열일곱. 18, 열여덟. 열여덟. 19, 열아홉. 열아홉. So now that you've learned that all you have to do is add the 10 plus whatever the number is after, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can do that for all the other numbers. So now that you've learned that it's 10 plus 1, that's how you read it in Korean, you can do 20 plus 1. So what was 20? 20 was 스물. 1 is 하나. So 21 is 스물하나. 스물하나. Same thing for 22. 스물둘. 스물둘. Same thing for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So you put the whatever the 10 is, and then you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty simple, right? Now, you've learned the Korean numbers, and now you're thinking to yourself, when do I use this? I said earlier that the Korean numbers and the Sino-Korean numbers are never used together except for when you're telling time. So, when do you use the Korean numbers? You use the Korean numbers when you do age. So, like I said earlier, when we were counting, I said, I am 30. I'm 30. So, you use it for age. You use it for the hours when you tell time. This is when you use both, right? I said you use Korean and Sino-Korean when you're doing time. So when you're telling time, you tell the hours in Korean numbers and you tell the minutes in Sino-Korean. And we'll go over that after we learn the Sino-Korean. And Korean numbers are usually used for when you are counting. So if you're like 1, 2, 3, okay? So now you've learned the Korean numbers, let's move on to the Sino-Korean numbers. 1 in Sino-Korean is 1. 2 is 2. 2. 3 is 3. 3. 4 is 4. 4. 5 is 5. 5. For those who are studying Chinese or who are Chinese, you probably find it easier to learn the Sino-Korean numbers because they're so similar to the Chinese numbering system. So, where were we? 5 is 5. 6 is 6. 6. 7 is 7. 7. 8 is 8. 8. 9 is 9. 9. Finally, 10 is 10. 10. So that is 1 through 10 in the Sino-Korean numbering system. Before I had said that you can only go up to 99 in the Korean numbers. So you can't go above 100 with the Korean numbers. So when you get to 100, where do you go? To the Sino-Korean, right? So 100 is pig, and we're not going to go above pig today because we would be going on forever. But once you learn the teens and the tens, when you get to 100 and then 1,000 and then 10,000 and then 100,000 and 1,000,000, and as you go on, it'll be easier to piece things together. So as long as you know 1 through 10 the teens and then the tens, you'll be fine. So we're going to do the same thing we did with the Korean numbers, and we're going to go through the tens first, and then we'll go through the teens. So as you saw for the Korean numbers, the tens are actually totally different words, right? So 열, 스물, 서른, 마흔, right? These are totally different words. The tens in Sino-Korean are super easy. Super easy. Just like when we were doing the teens in Korean where you do 10. What the? 10. When you do 10 and 1 for 11, you do the opposite in Sino-Korean for 20. You would do 2, 10, that's 20, right? So, like we said, 10 is 10, 10. 2 is 이, so 20 is 20, 20. Same thing for 30, 30, 30. 3 is 3, 10 is 10, 3 tens, 30. So you keep going down. So 40, 40. 40. Can you guess what 50 is? That's right, 50 is 50. 50. 50. 60 is 60. 60. 70 is 70. 70. 80 is 80. 80. 90 is 90. 90. And then finally 100 is 100. 100. So that's a different word. Obviously it's not ship. Don't say that. It's not ship. It's 100. So now that you've learned the tens, we're going to go through the teens. And what I mean by teens obviously is 11 through 19. Once you learn this, you can also do 21, 22, 23, because it's the same concept. Just like in the Korean numbers, the Sino-Korean numbers are also 10, 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, and that is 11, 12, 13. So let's go through these. 10 again is 10. 1 is 1. 11. 11 is 11. So obviously 12 is 12. 12. 10, 2. 12. So then you can do all the way down to 19. So let's go through these really quickly. 13. 13. 13. 14. 14. 14. 14. 15. 15. 15. 16. 16. 16. 17. 17. 17. 18. 18. I'm going to say that slow because I don't want to swear on YouTube. But 18. 18. 18. Be careful when you pronounce that because you could be swearing, so be careful. 18. 18. 19. 19. 19. So now, how do you take that to 21? That 20 is 20. 20. So what would 21 be? 21. That's what it is. 2, 10, 1. 21. Same thing all the way down. 22. 22. 22, 23, 23. You can go all the way down, all the way to 29. Then you switch over to 30, and you do the same thing. 31, 31, 32, 32. So, very simple, simpler than the Korean numbering system to memorize, in my opinion. But unfortunately, you can't just use one in Korea, so you have to learn both. So now that you've learned the Sino-Korean numbers, let's talk about when you use Sino-Korean. As we said earlier, you use the Korean numbers when you're talking about your age, when you're talking about the hours, when you're telling time, and when you're counting things. When do you use Sino-Korean then? Sino-Korean numbers are used for money, dates, the minutes in time, and phone numbers, and anything that you count that's over 100. Because you can't go over 100 in the Korean numbers, so you use the Sino-Korean numbers for when you're counting over 100. Even when you're counting people, whatever you're counting, whatever you use Korean numbers for below 100, if it's over 100, you will always use Sino-Korean numbers. Let's talk about time real quick. Time is one of the few, if not the only times where you use both numbers together. Like I said earlier, the Korean numbers are used for the hour, and the Sino-Korean are used for the minutes. So, Korean numbers are, of course, remember, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, 열하나, 열둘. You only need 12, right? Because there's only 12 hours on the clock. And for minutes, you need 1 through 59. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Anyways, you get the picture. So, you're going to go all the way from 1 to 59, obviously, because we don't say 2 hours and 60 minutes, right? We say 3 hours. So, how does this work? Let's say it is 11:25. How would you read the time 11:25? 11, 열한. Also, when you don't say 열하나, you say 열한, 한, 열한, 11시, 11시, 25분. 11시 25분, 11:25. Why did we take 하나 and condense it down to 한? Because saying 열하나시 doesn't sound natural. So when you're telling time, when you do 1, you do 한, 한, 열한시. Even when you do 1 o'clock, 1시 10분. What would that time be? I'll say it again. 1시 10분. If you guessed 1:10, you are right. 1시, 하나, 1시, 1, 10분. 10 is 10 in the Sino-Korean, and that is 1:10. So it's a little bit complicated, so take your time learning this. It took me a while to get the numbers too. It takes you a long time to learn a language. Some people get it right away. Don't be discouraged by the fact that other people get it right away and it's not clicking for you. You can do it. It took me a while to learn the numbers. I messed up the time. I would do Sino-Korean for the hours and Korean. You'll get it eventually. So don't give up. You will learn this. And if you ever need to look at how to tell the numbers again, come back to this video and watch, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!